In the history of American crime, few figures are as well known as the notorious Bonnie and Clyde. Their very names conjure images of an era of lawlessness, the Great Depression, and a nationwide manhunt that is still remembered nearly a century later. The duo romanticized the notion of the outlaw, captivating the public with audacious robberies and daring escapes. But what was so interesting about the couple? How did they go so long without being caught? And how does this gun, a .38 revolver, tie into one of the greatest tales of crime and passion in history? These are the treasures of history. Bonnie Parker met Clyde Barrow in Texas in 1930. He was 21 and she was only 19. Bonnie was quickly drawn to him, but it was evident from the start that Clyde was trouble. In only 2 years, he was arrested for burglary, managed to escape, then arrested again. Upon being granted parole in 1932, he joined Bonnie, and they set off on a 2-year crime spree of theft, bank robberies, and murder. But how did they go so long without being stopped? In the midst of economic hardship and widespread resentment towards banks, Bonnie and Clyde were seen by many as modern-day Robin Hoods, striking back against the institutions deemed responsible for the financial ruin of countless families during the Great Depression. This perception fueled public sympathy for the pair and made it difficult for authorities to apprehend them, as they were often shielded by locals who saw them as folk heroes fighting back against the injustice. Using their close-knit network and good public image, they received shelter, supplies, and crucial information that allowed them to evade capture for as long as they did. Additionally, the authorities faced a unique challenge in apprehending them due to the stark contrast in physical appearance between the diminutive Bonnie and the heavily armed Clyde. In the beginning, law enforcement officers were hesitant to use lethal force against Bonnie. In their eyes, she was a young girl who weighed a mere 90 pounds, which further complicated their efforts to bring the couple to justice. The combination of familial support and tactical advantage through the morals of the FBI and police force, Bonnie and Clyde were able to prolong their crime spree and evade capture. In 1934, Bonnie and Clyde broke out 5 prisoners from the Eastham State Prison farm, killing 2 guards in the process and escaping under the cover of a hail of machine gun fire. This was the tipping point for the FBI. They had seen enough and were willing to stop the couple at any cost. The FBI, police, and Texas Rangers now had complete focus on the manhunt. They followed every lead, every clue, with wanted notices, descriptions, fingerprints, and more being distributed to all officers engaged in the manhunt. Finally, in April 1934, 2 Texas Rangers named Frank Hamer and Maney Galt got wind of Bonnie and Clyde's location near Black Lake, Louisiana. It was learned that they were friends of the Methvin family and discovered that Bonnie and Clyde had thrown a party near Black Lake and planned to return there in 2 days. The Methvin family's son was working with Bonnie and Clyde at the time, and the Texas Rangers were able to convince Mr. Methvin to help set up and catch the couple to spare his son. Mr. Methvin agreed to help, and the plan was simple. Mr. Methvin pretends to have a flat tire on the side of the only road into town, hoping that Bonnie and Clyde would pull over to help. So, in the early hours before dawn on the 23rd of May, 1934, police officers and Texas Rangers set an ambush along the highway near Sales, Louisiana. Bonnie and Clyde appeared and stopped to help Methvin as planned. The Texas Rangers jumped out and fired a storm of 130 bullets into their car. Both criminals died almost instantly, and upon examination, this Colt Detective Special 38 was found beneath Bonnie Parker's dress, taped to her thigh with white medical tape. The detective who found it was quoted saying, "No gentleman officer would search a woman where she had it taped." Holding Bonnie Parker's revolver in your hand brings you closer to the insane tale of Bonnie and Clyde, immortalizing a time when these 2 lovers defied all odds and etched a bloody chapter in American history. So would you buy this piece of history for your collection? Be sure to like this video, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe so you don't miss the next captivating story and treasure from history.